Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled I Know This Is the Wrong Number, but I Still Don't Believe You. I used to get frequent calls on my mobile phone, asking for, let's call him Mr. Wong. That wasn't his name, but it was a Chinese name, and I'm Chinese too. So I'm allowed to make a Wong number joke. This was in 2014 or so. As far as I can tell, Mr. Wong had printed up business cards, had some kind of flyer, or ad, whatever, with the wrong number, namely, my number. It seems his potential customers or clients really did have my exact phone number, not just something close to it. Most of the time, people were apologetic when I explained what was going on. They got the message when I said I wasn't Mr. Wong, I didn't know Mr. Wong, and definitely didn't work for him. There was some kind of mistake with his business info. Most people caught on pretty quick, and it was all good. But there was this one guy. He kept calling back, and he refused, absolutely refused to accept my explanation. In the end, it went something like this. Guy. Look, just tell him. Me. Sir, this is my phone. I don't know him. I don't know how to reach him. You've got the wrong number. Guy. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Me. Yes, it is. That's not. Guy. Then I've got the correct number, stop telling me I've made a mistake. Me. I'm not saying that, sir. I'm sure you did dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just that the number you have isn't right. I think he's been giving out mine by accident. Guy. No, that can't be it. Me. I'm not sure what to tell you. That's it. Guy. Did you just change your number? You've got Wong's old number. Me. No, sir, definitely not. Guy. You got a new line, and what's your phone company? They gave you Wong's number. Me. No, I'm sure that isn't it. But even if it was, Guy. Those telcos shouldn't be doing that. Me. Well, Guy. You should tell them, they gave you Wong's number. Me. I've had this phone number for years. Guy. No, that can't be. This is Wong's number. When did you get this number? You must have changed your number. Now, at this point I was vaguely incredulous. I mean, the guy's finally acknowledged he's got the wrong person, and yet he's still questioning me? I probably should have just hung up, but. Me. Sir, that's none of your business, but. Fine. I've had this number for 15 years, now. Guy. That's not possible, Wong. Me. 3 years of school, 3 years of army, 6 years in uni, 2 years of work. No, you're right, that's 14 years, not 15. Sorry. Guy. But who had the number before? It must have been Wong's number before. He must have had it before you. I swear I'm not embellishing, he really asked me that. It was a ridiculous question. I'm not responsible for the ancient history of my own phone number. Looking back, I think. Maybe he wanted me to admit that maybe someone else had the phone number in the past, so he could claim he was right. Or something. But, as it happened. Me. Unless Mr. Wong is a woman and my mother, I don't think so. Guy. But, me. She got this line around 1995, sir. For the office. I took over the account afterwards. Guy. But maybe it was Wong's. Me. This number used to be attached to a Nokia with an antenna we had to pull out. Guy. But. Me. Sir, my family's had this number since the 1990s. We're probably the only ones who've ever had it. Even if Wong had the number, once, he's given you a number that's 20 years out of date. Guy. I guess I've got the wrong number? Me. You have the wrong number. Guy. Oh, okay, sorry. Me. No problem. Have a good evening. Well, at least I won, I think. I don't get calls for Mr. Wong anymore, so there's that, at least. The next story is titled I Know the Boss, I Will Get You Fired. My dad was one of the 3 bosses in a big movie theater. We, his kids, had free movie tickets, which was great, and during holidays we were there almost every day, seeing all the new movies and of course, between 2 movies, helping the employees who were working. So it was one of this night, I was like 15 or 16 yo. I was helping at the popcorn and candy selling station, by preparing the orders, stocking some drinks, cleaning counters, all that stuff. As I was not officially working here, I wasn't allowed to use the cash register. Only the employees had access to their own portable till and had an access to the cash desk itself. It was a Saturday night, so there were a lot of people. We were working on chain, not talking. When a man comes, moves the customers who were waiting on the line, and asks to be served quickly, as his movie was about to begin. Customers grumble a little, but nobody says anything. Bad luck, the cash station's computer was freezing, since a few minutes. My friend who worked officially tells him that he's not alone, that he needs to go to the bottom of the line in order to be served fairly. Of course, he goes all batshit crazy, starts yelling at my friend, the customers, like, "Who do you think you are? You are nothing, move yourself and get my order ready, stupid girl." She's a very sensitive woman, who was 19 at this time, and I see that all the yelling is troubling her. It goes like this for 2 minutes thanks to the frozen computer. It seems like nothing, but it's a very long time, and she's about to cry, so I decide to interfere, even if I wasn't allowed to do such a thing. "Sir, you're gonna have to wait silently or leave. The computer is freezing, we can't do anything about it. Stop yelling please, and you useless kid, can't you take the order on the other cash station?" "Thanks Captain Obvious, didn't thought about it before." "No sir, I can't." As he's a pain in the ass, I don't explain why, and it's making him angrier, if it's possible. You don't know who you're talking to." "No sir, I don't. I know the boss here, I will get you fired. Don't come to work tomorrow. You're fired already, I know the boss." "Not as much as I know him, sir. He's my father." He looks at me, at my friend who's smiling now, at the customers who makes fun of him, all flustered and red, back off and leave. I'm 27 today, and my friend is still talking about this story, 10 years later. I didn't do it on purpose, I was stating the facts and nothing more. And for the backstory, when I told him the story that night, my father was mad about me, because the customer is king even when he's a jerk, and because I wasn't supposed to speak for my friend. Rough night for both of us. Now we're laughing about it all together. He's retired, and thinks I did the best thing I could do at the time. The next story is entitled Family Trespassing in My Pasture. So this happened a few years back, and I happened to remember this event, so I thought I'd share it with all you beautiful folks out there. Sorry for any poor formatting, as I'm stuck on mobile for a while, and I also apologize for the length of the story. So first let me give some background to help you understand a few things. So I run a cattle operation that I took over from my now deceased father. I have a little over 100 acres, give or take, and my land and cattle are guarded by 12 half Marima and half Sarplananak guard dogs. This particular breed is big. The head of my biggest male and female is level with my middle rib, and I'm 6 feet 2, so you can imagine just how big they all are. All my dogs are trained to patrol the limits of my pasture, and help clean the calves right after they're born. They also are trained to guide any other people who come into the property directly to me, and they can be very protective of me, their turf, and the cattle. I've seen these dogs literally tear apart coyotes who got too close to the herd, but otherwise they are gentle giants. Now that I've given all the background you'll need, let's get on to the story. So I was patrolling the fence with one of my females, Freya, who is a total kiss ass, to make sure the fence wasn't knocked over by deer when I heard Freya huff and bark. I looked over to where she was pointing, and I saw my 2 alphas, Fenrir, male, and Rasta, whose name means brawler in Old Icelandic Norwegian and is female, were escorting a whole family towards me. There was a husband, wife, boy, and a girl who were wearing swimwear. Once they were near me, I called the dogs over to me. The father immediately began loudly complaining that the dogs had tried to attack him and his family. I merely raised an eyebrow and said, "Sir, if that was the case you wouldn't be standing here right now." And he starts asking to the park ranger or the manager of this nature reserve, which got me confused. I then said, "This isn't a nature reserve, this is a private ranch. Why would there be a nature reserve in the middle of a bunch of corn and soybean fields, i.e. farming country?" And then the mother piped up, "Well, it looked like it might be a nature reserve, so we thought it was." I could only shake my head in disbelief at what I was hearing. The mother then went on to explain that they'd come here to look for a place to swim since the local lakeside beach was too full, and they found my creek and thought it'd be a good place to swim. And not long after, my dogs found them and brought them to me. I apologized for yelling and getting upset, but told them that they needed to leave. But the dad insisted that they were gonna swim, that I can't make them leave, how it's a free country, and he can go and do as he pleases since he's a sovereign citizen. I look at him and ask, "Did that hurt?" And he asked, did what just hurt? And I said, when all that stupid fell out your throat. Because you're not a sovereign citizen, that stopped being a thing when Abe Lincoln died and you aren't allowed to trespass on private land. Now then I'm going to tell you again, you need to go back to your vehicle and leave right now. At this point the dad starts to get red in the face, starts yelling that I'm not as smart as I think I am and how I'm not gonna make a fool out of him in front of his family, which he was doing all on his own, and I said as much. While this guy is ranting and raving, my dogs start to growl while putting themselves in front of me as they know to do. And I start getting worried that this guy will set them off, and I don't want that for his sake more than anything else since, as I mentioned, these dogs have killed coyotes, so I don't want to see what they can do to a human. I try to calm the dogs down, but the dad decides he's gonna act on his anger and insecurities by making a grab for me, and my heart stops for a moment as Fenrir tackles the guy and grabs him by the throat, and Singh holds him there growling. I yell at the dad to not move while his family started to panic. I managed to quiet them down and I yelled at Fenrir, Fenrir, no. Leave it. Come. And fortunately he listens and comes back. I then chewed out the dad once again for trespassing, picking a fight, provoking my dogs and almost getting himself killed, all for the sake proving how much of a man he is. I help him up, brush him off, and check to make sure he wasn't bitten, and I try to calm the woman and kids down. I tell them one last time they need to leave and shoo the dogs away and guide the family back to their car. They got back to their car that had been parked on the side of a gravel, and I once again apologized for what had happened. The dad, who had calmed down, apologized as well before starting his car and driving off. I never had anything come of that scenario, and while it still pisses me off how stupid and entitled that family was, the dad most of all, and how that stupidity and entitlement almost got them killed, I'm just glad that everyone was okay and hopefully learned a lesson. I guess it just goes to show how no matter what, the craziest things can happen to anyone. The next story is titled A Bit of Trolling. Few years back when I was still in high school. That one day I was wearing a plain red t-shirt. Went into Target after school to get some snacks. Target was just 3 to 4 minutes walk from school, before I get picked up. There I was at the chips section, trying to choose which one I want, when an old lady just walked up to me and asked me something. I had my headphones on so I couldn't hear anything. Decided it was too much of a hassle to pause the music. I'm a lazy duck. So I just did a shrug off gesture and get back to picking my chips. She stormed off quickly. After a few minutes, I was walking down the aisle toward the register. She caught up to me with a Target manager, proper uniform with name tag, and started yelling. At this point I just quietly paused my music to hear what's happening. She was going on how I was not helping her, not doing my job, disrespectful, true. The manager, of course, can tell straight away that I'm just another customer. He quickly explained that to her, but she didn't back off. Immediately accused me of misleading. Why didn't you say so? You know that's just rude and you're wasting my time. Blah blah. So me, with all my wisdom, decided to not say anything but used body language instead. First I pointed to myself, then my mouth, then made an X with my hands. Like I was trying to tell them I am a mute. I'm not. The manager just followed up with, you can't talk? Nodded. Being a troll here. The lady went from rage to full embarrassment and nervous in 2 secs. She must have thought she shouted at a mute kid how I didn't speak up sooner. I just hurried my ass off to the register, paid for my chips, walked as fast and as far as possible away from Target, and started laughing to myself. The next story is titled I Stole It. But only on Mondays. So I volunteer for a driving service locally. Few hours per week I drive the elderly to the doctors and to the shops and such. My only responsibility is to bring them from A to B and back, but as it is often very frail, weak or small people, I go in the shop with them and help them get stuff off shelves and such, because I want to. It's a small community, a number of people know me in the area. This is fine. Well, I drive on Mondays only. This happened last Saturday, when I went to the shops to do my own shopping. A lady I'd not seen before, not the typical Karen look. She looked like a normal woman in her mid-50s, visibly stared at me as I walked past her. I think nothing of this, people are weird sometimes. I go about my shopping. She follows me. I know this because I do a pretty unusual tour through the aisles since I know what I need and where. Near the register, we have walked past at least 3 uniformed shop employees by now. She just jams her cart in front of mine, blocking the way. "K. Excuse me, since you're obviously free, why haven't you offered to help me?" I stare for a good 15 seconds because I don't know what I could possibly help her with. That she thinks I work there doesn't occur to me. I've never worked a day of retail in my life. I'm a journalist, nothing even close to what she's after. M. With K. My shopping. M. If you need help I suggest an employee. K. But you are free. M. I don't work here. K. Obviously not. This startled me, I didn't expect her to agree with me lol. M. Then why would I help you? K. You work for local service. M. No, I'm self-employed. I volunteer there. On Mondays. K. Then help me already. By now, other people have started peeking into our aisle, her shrill voice having alerted others. I can see one of the shopkeepers debate whether or not to step in, sadly no. M. It's not Monday. If it was Monday, I still wouldn't help you because it's a members-only service. You're not a member. And if you were I still wouldn't help you, because my only responsibility is driving people around. I help sometimes because I want to, and I certainly don't want to help you. K. Well I don't care. M. Okay then, neither do I. I give her cart a push and walk past with mine, to the register, start unloading my stuff. The cashier is already giving her and me side-eye because she can see this isn't over. K. If you don't work here, how are you going to pay for that? You are going to pay, right? This startled both me and the shopkeeper. It's so dumb I'm literally speechless for a half minute. Apparently this shop is the only way to earn money now? I don't even know. M. No, I figured I was just gonna rob the store to be honest. It is Saturday after all. K. You're so rude. I pay for my stuff, she's still following me, having abandoned her cart in the aisle. I stay near the counter to pack my groceries, while she hovers around me still. M. You understand I'm not going to help you, at all, ever, right? K. I'll get you fired. M. I'm self-employed. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to fire me. I manage to make it out the door, put my cart back and carry my stuff to my car. I almost think I ditched her when she appears again, next to me, yelling in my ear, K. That's not your car. I have a small seat, nothing fancy but I own it outright. By now honestly I was just having a laugh at this idiot. M. Then why do my keys unlock the door? K. I've seen your car. M. I mean we're standing in front of it. K. No, your real car. The VW. It dawns on me what she means. The local service has two brand spanking new giant 7-seater electric cars, completely covered with stickers, ads and so on for the driver's service. Cars are white, stickers orange AD green, very distinct. It's tacky AF, but the cars are great for people with limited movement because they're big. How anyone could think a car with all those ads belongs to a random person is beyond me tbh. M. That's not mine, this is. I just drive it sometimes. K. That's illegal. It's not? M. Have a great day. By the way, the store has probably put your stuff back by now. She ignores this completely as I get into the car, lowering the window so as to not tempt her to open the door or something. K. How did you get this car? Now, I'm a fairly small woman, just over 5 feet, very friendly face, generally quite approachable, but with a loud voice when I try. I tried. M. I ducking stole it obviously. Murdered the owner as well. Keep yapping and I'll show you where they're buried. With that, I throw the car in gear, absolutely stomp the pedal to the ground and race to the other end of the parking lot. I see her frantically scramble to what I assume to be her car, but by the time she's in it, I've pulled into traffic and pretty much out of her sight. Just for fun, I parked a little down the road from my place, next to another, identical seat, same model, same color, very similar license plates. Just in case she comes looking. Sadly, I didn't see her or her car again. I was actually a little nervous that I'd get in trouble with the police or something for yelling that in case she reported me or something, but it seems she's not that crazy. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.